91 CRX SI that I've had since 2007. The color code on it is Toyota Quicksand, paint code 4V6. And the inspiration, I get a ton of questions and comments about the color. The inspiration actually came from a dude named August Cascade. I had pictures of his car, his CRX, back in, I don't know, 99, 2000, somewhere around there. I'm sure he could tell you exactly when. But he was part of Team Rice out in Hawaii, and I'd seen his pictures on the internet at that time, or in a magazine, I don't remember which. And that was just something that I was like, man, I want my car to look like his car in general. And time had passed by, and I'd always had white CRXs, and I decided to redo this car again. It's been through a ton of iterations. And we were driving, and I saw a Tacoma or a 4Runner, and it was this color, and I was like, I had a flashback of August's car, and I said, man, that reminds me of his car, and there it is. The car has been this color. This is its third and final reiteration, I think. I say that, it'll probably change again. It's gone from a dual cam ZC with a Jackson Charger to a Viterra build with a Jackson Charger, and this time it's now actually turbocharged, which we'll get to last. But so for starters, the wheels that are on the car, at the current time, I've got another set of Rota Slipstreams, but at the current time, I've got Cozy K1s. They're 15x7s with a 38 offset, running Toyo 888Rs, and they are on, actually, brake-wise, it's on stock CRX SI brakes. I just kind of blasted all the suspension components and recoated the calipers and just put a little Honda sticker on it. Brakes might be in the future. Suspension-wise, I will try to show you, it's all Skunk 2 Pro Cs, which no longer seem to be on their website for whatever reasoning. Underneath now, we've got a 24mm ASR brace with, again, the Skunk 2 Pro C coilovers. It's got the Skunk 2 Pro C, or Skunk 2 Pro, their camber kit on the front and back. And it's got blocks, adjustable rods up in the front over there. All right, so the wing is a EDM wing. It had a wiper hole on it, but I just filled out a fiberglass, resprayed it, and that's just kind of the, I guess the equivalent, sort of like a little duckbill look for these cars, and I just always like that look, so that's it. So the interior back here, I still wanted to keep as much interior as you can see. I still have door panels, dash, all the rear interior is still here. I wanted to keep the car kind of like a resto mod, OEM-ish. If the car came from the factory as like a sport model, potentially. I get some of it may not really say that to you, but that's just kind of the idea that I wanted. So this I resprayed with like a vinyl fabric black just to kind of match everything else. And then I took a piece of 1/2-inch plywood to make a back down here, because when I go to the gym or do anything else that I do, I still put stuff back here. So, and then the carpet in it is from Stock Interiors. They make a kind of a match cut carpet already. So I had to do a little trimming with a jigsaw, but I got it to fit here. And then I had some excess, which is what I put on the little fold down panel that I'll show you in a second. All right, so as far as interior is, as I said a minute ago, I basically recovered this with same black pile carpet from Stock Interiors. And I made this out of 1/2-inch plywood too, which is also on my channel. I kind of just redid it so I can pull that down and keep the original factory idea of it. If you look at the roll bar, which is an auto point 4-point roll bar that I put in, I wanted to keep the factory speaker covers there, so I sprayed them with the black vinyl dye as well, and I just kind of cut a hole there so they slid in. It still kind of just looked, in my opinion, kind of clean. So the most cluttered part of this entire car right now, and has been for a while, is the battery. This is actually an Odyssey PC950. I ran a 680, but I went with a little bigger battery just because it fits, and why not? So I've got a distribution block, and the distribution block is running to, you know, essentially the battery. I've got the fuel pump wired directly to it. I have my spow fan wired directly to it, and that'll take me to the third thing, which is right down here, which is a Kenwood little 8-inch sub. This is also powered directly from the battery and hooked up to the head unit. It's got a little adjustable guy here if I ever want to just mess with the frequency of the bass or the overall volume on it, whatever I want to mess with. And I also control that on the head unit itself too. So we have an Energy steering wheel with a short hub and a quick release on it. And then behind that is my VTI gauge cluster, so it's in miles per hour, and my attack is a little higher with the cool little orange needles. I thought about going to like an aim dash, nothing against those, still may in the very far future, but I kind of liked, again, the OEM-ish kind of vibing look to it. Everything for the most part has been black, so as far as the gauges are concerned, I wanted just blacked out gauges. So there are 2 autometer gauges, which is a boost gauge and the oil pressure gauge, and the PLX wideband that I've got. So the wideband is wired directly into my Honda S300, which feeds directly to the laptop, and I can just make data log's a little bit easier with it to wire directly in. This is a little block off plate from Greg Parts. If you haven't looked him up on eBay, he's got a ton of parts, all kinds of little 3D printed pieces. So this is my my AC delete that I've got. So the car has no AC or no heat in it. Down below is my little Kenwood radio and my little piece down here. So because I like messing around with stuff a lot, I'm always plugging a laptop into the computer, just messing around and tweaking. So instead of always having to pull the computer down because the computer's mounted up in the back behind the dash, I put a little USB port here that's wired into the Honda S300. So I simply just plug a USB cable here into my cigarette lighter and plug that into the laptop. Going from there straight back. The shift knob is just some generic shift knob off Amazon, but I've been super happy with it so far. And the actual shifter is a Hybrid Racing B-Series shifter, which is, I mean, absolutely feels just great. And the big plus is you can adjust them from, you can adjust the height, or the throw, I should say, of it right here. And it fits over my factory boot, as you can kind of see. And the boot sort of just kind of stays up there. So going down towards the floor mats. The floor mats are made by Cobra Automask. They kind of resemble an OEM-ish kind of look, sort of. It doesn't look too gaudy or anything like that. And they fit pretty well in here. So they make them for driver's side, passenger side, both pieces there. Going on to the seats. So here was this was a complicated process. It shouldn't have been, but it was. So these are Corbo FX Pros. They make shorter height seats, but this is what I'm rocking right now with their matching 3-inch Corbo harnesses and their shoulder straps with a 5-point quick release cam lock. I like everything about them. The seat rails that it's on is on PCI's rails, which fit great. They bolt up just fine. I did, when I first bought the whole setup, I did get their sliders. The problem with this car and the seats, you can kind of see maybe the headroom here. You don't have a ton. I'm 5'8" and I fit in the car just fine. I don't know with a helmet on just yet. If anything, my helmet will probably be pretty close to the ceiling. So the sliders had to come off, and right now they're just bolted. I fixed the seat in a position where my wife and I both can comfortably drive the car. So if anything, if you're trying to put these in here, they will fit in your car. If you're, I'd say if you're 5'10", 5'11", you're gonna be pretty close to the roof, unfortunately. But I love the seats, so I just really didn't want to get rid of them. It was just that simple. To the engine. Bra, also Cobra Automask. All right, so this is the third power plant that's been in it. Before it was the dual cam ZC and the Vitera build. Now we are at a GSR motor. So it's a GSR motor top to bottom, so head and block. So the block's got 10-to-1 Wiseco's, Skunk 2 rods, ACL bearings, and a CSS inside of it. So the head now is, at the current moment now, it's running Skunk 2 tuner 1s. I had tuner 2s in it. That's a different video, different time. So the valve train is appropriate for tuner 2. So it's got their tie springs and retainers, and it also has Skunk 2 LMAs inside of it with their matching adjustable B-Series cam gears. So coming up on top, it's running Hondata's coil on plug kit with a VMS block off plate there. Dash 10 AN lines ran to my just homemade 4-port catch can, Skunk 2 brace. I'm still running a clutch, or a cable clutch, a cable transmission. It's a B16 cable transmission that's been gone through, all bearings replaced with a Synchrotech kit. So it's got Synchrotech carbon line synchros with all their bearings and whatnot, along with an M Factory LSD inside of it. Going to a Skunk 2 Ultra Manifold Aeromotive fuel rail mounted regulator that's mounted to a Skunk 2 composite fuel rail. Alpha throttle body matching the intake manifold. Still running the stock CRX inside booster and master cylinder until I upgrade brakes. The master cylinder will probably be upgraded. Motor's being held in with Ossport mounts and has an ATI Dampner. Running a stock OBD1, just generic OBD1 alternator on it. And last but not least is what's kind of running the entire motor, or keeping the entire motor making the power that it is, which is a turbo kit from Greg at Go-Autoworks, an RX600 kit. So all of his boost, the whole entire boost kit, everything's on it. Everything on it is from him. It's running a GT2871R turbo, and then keeping it cool at the current moment, I've got his Go-Autoworks radiator with a fan shroud and a 12-inch spowl radiator fan. The headlights are stock headlights, but the bulbs that I found, I'll put them in the description there. If you have not upgraded your bulbs from the generic bulbs that our cars ran, the 9005s, 9006, whatever, these LEDs are, I want to say they're like 40 bucks for low beams, 40 bucks for high beams, but they're phenomenal, way better than what we had, and a quick, cheap, easy upgrade there. Traction bar that I'm running is an Innovate, their new aluminum Pro Series traction bar that's been holding the motor together just fine, or holding the bottom end together just fine, which which is connected to Skunk 2 lower control arms, Skunk 2 Pro C 12-way adjustable suspension with their camber kit as well. So the hood hinges I replaced, these are 310 billet hinges. I want to say Hush Performance is now selling them, or maybe 310 is. I've seen Robert from Hush post these a lot. Great hinges, very strong shock actually, so in the wind right now, the wife just kind of made me a little thing out of 550 cord. It's kind of tan, just kind of go with the car and just sort of holds it up, so in case I go to a car meet or whatever the case is, I can kind of just let that reside and it won't allow the hood to smash into the windshield. So another thing, I got rid of my window wipers. I don't drive the car in the rain. I do drive it to work and to car meets and whatever else the case may be, but I don't drive it in the rain if it's a bad day. I have no AC, no heat, so window wipers are gone. I think it just looks cleaner that way. So one thing I get asked quite a bit about is this little plate over here. It's nothing special. It is a piece of aluminum I just kind of made, and Nick Gibson had these stickers out for a while and I just kind of put it on there. All right, so that's a quick overview of my 91 CRX SI. Just sitting here, I know I missed a ton of things that I'm sure you have some questions about, and I just put them in the comments below. But it did make 340 wheel horsepower, 220 wheel torque, weighing in at 2,080 pounds. It does have tuner 1 cams in and out. Those dynos with tuner 2s, so hopefully I get to go back to the dyno and we'll re-see how that goes. I have a feeling the number's going to go up a little bit. That being said, the lip, I know I didn't mention that. The lip is a CS style lip. I have a radio delete little plug on it. The entire engine harness and the COP harness is all rye wire with the CJ's little firewall plate. Again, I know there's a ton of things that I probably did miss. So if there is something, do leave it in the comments below. And thanks for watching. I hope you have a good week.